Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Garcelle Beauvais' departure leaves a void in RHOBH. Until Garcelle Beauvais was cast in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in Season 10, the cast image was very specific. Garcelle became the first Black cast member of that franchise. She not only broke ground for the series, but she also opened up a door for other strong Black women to join the series after. With the longest tenure of a cast member of color at 5 seasons, her departure is about to leave a void. She not only acted as a grounding voice of reason and constant ally to Sutton Strack, but as an image of representation in the 90,210. Even though Garcelle was never the big blow-up kind of woman, her presence on the series was always active and necessary. Every friend group needs that calming, firm individual to balance out the wild, and Garcelle was that for the group. Furthermore, when she had the opportunity to shine through her solo stories and ventures, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills prospered through a new vantage of storytelling. Garcelle's decision to leave now is for the best for her career, and her family, but her departure leaves a void that must be rectified. Representation matters. For many viewers, they may be far away from ever being a rich, successful actress. However, the moment that Garcelle Beauvais stepped on screen, there were individuals who saw themselves in her and saw an aspiration of what they could be. When Garcelle was cast in 2020, she told The Daily Dish, "As the first African-American housewife in the Beverly Hills franchise, I am honored and humbled by this awesome opportunity to exemplify the fact that Black girl magic lives and thrives in every zip code." Certainly, Bravo wasn't trying to negate that fact, but her arrival meant an expansion of the stories the show could tell and who they were being told by. As she said then, "It's about damn time." Garcelle brought some important stories to the screen about being a Black actress, breaking into writing, directing, and producing. The show has featured many actresses starting new chapters of their careers, but the importance of Garcelle's next journey was never lost. Her rise wasn't about just another part or gig. It was about doing something women of color don't always have access to. Part of her journey was watching as she expanded beyond life in front of the screen. It was a celebration of a career accomplishment, but the platform provided her an opportunity to discuss the film and raise awareness about its themes. She discussed the hardships she's faced, including the struggles of being a single parent. Her children are her pride and joy, and those moments became a highlight of her arc. Fans loved the proud mama moments. She also opened up about the importance of her finally buying and renovating a beach house of her own. To some, it might have felt superfluous, but for Garcelle, it held weight. She said, "I didn't grow up knowing anyone who owned more than one home or even own a home. So for me, buying a beach house, it's a pretty big deal." In her Instagram Reel announcement, Garcelle made it clear that her decision to leave was influenced by multiple factors, including her booming career and spending time with her boys. At the heart of her story on RHOBH were both those things. Now she wants to enjoy and savor those moments without the distraction of cameras, and we have to respect her for that. Filming a reality television show can be a circus. Garcelle had her time playing in that world, and now she's reclaiming that time again. She knows that her success on the show is partially thanks to the support of the fans. She may not be sharing the next chapter in the capacity we've seen the past 5 seasons, but she's invited the support to come through in other ventures. As she said, "You never know. I might pop back in sometimes." Garcelle truly changed how RHOBH is viewed and what the future could be. Because of Garcelle Beauvais, Anna Mary Wiley arrived for a short-lived stint, and the door was opened for another strong, Black woman, Bozoma St. John, to represent the perspective of successful women in business. But here comes the complications. The pressure on Bozoma St. John to carry that mantle is unfair to her, as she is her own independent entity. So, moving forward, RHOBH has an obligation to continue sharing all stories and perspectives. There is a void that Garcelle leaves, and Bravo has a difficult undertaking figuring out how to fill it. However, by departing the series, she's potentially allowing other women of color to enter the fray. Beauvais' departure from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, RHOBH, leaves a gaping hole in the fabric of the show, one that fans will undoubtedly feel for seasons to come. As a former model, actress, and the first Black woman to join the cast, Garcelle brought not only a refreshing perspective to the table, but also a level of sophistication and grace that resonated with audiences. Her departure marks the end of an era in the franchise, and it raises a multitude of questions about the direction of RHOBH moving forward. When Garcelle joined RHOBH in Season 10, her presence was a breath of fresh air. She stood apart from the other housewives not only because of her calm demeanor, but also due to her unapologetically real and relatable persona. Unlike many of her counterparts, Garcelle wasn't afraid to speak her mind, but she did so with an authenticity that made her feel like someone viewers could trust. Whether she was confronting conflict head-on or offering a heartfelt opinion, Garcelle consistently brought nuance and honesty to the show, which is rare in a series often dominated by drama and theatrics. But what truly set Garcelle apart was her ability to blend the world of reality TV with real-world issues. As one of the few Black women in an otherwise predominantly white cast, her experience on RHOBH provided a unique lens through which the show explored race, identity, and cultural dynamics. In a season marked by high-profile moments, such as the tense dinner party conversations around race and privilege, Garcelle was often the voice of reason, navigating complex issues with intelligence, dignity, and conviction. Garcelle also made waves with her candid approach to her personal life. She didn't shy away from discussing her relationships, whether it was her co-parenting journey with her ex-husband or her complicated friendships with the other housewives. This vulnerability was refreshing and allowed fans to connect with her on a deeper level. While many of the other women on RHOBH leaned into catfights or scandalous storylines to drive the drama, Garcelle brought a different kind of storytelling to the show, one rooted in real-life struggles, triumphs, and self-reflection. Her wit, humor, and unapologetic attitude allowed her to be both a likable and formidable force. There's no denying that Garcelle had a sharp sense of humor, and she wasn't afraid to poke fun at the absurdity of the situations she found herself in. Whether it was calling out a fellow housewife for her behavior or delivering a well-timed zinger, Garcelle's comedic timing added an extra layer of entertainment to the show. Yet it was her sincerity and empathy that truly made her a standout. Garcelle's authenticity was what made her so beloved among fans, and her absence from the show leaves a significant void in terms of representation, personality, and heart. Beyond the drama and the glitz, Garcelle was a woman of substance. Her impressive career as an actress in both film and television made her one of the most accomplished housewives to ever grace the Beverly Hills series. From her breakout role in the Jamie Foxx show to her more recent appearances in NYPD Blue and Coming to America, Garcelle has built a successful career based on talent, hard work, and perseverance. Her departure from RHOBH signals the loss of a figure who carried an air of professionalism and grace, qualities that are often lacking in the tumultuous world of reality television. Her exit also opens up a conversation about diversity within the franchise. Garcelle's role on RHOBH provided crucial representation, and her leaving the show leaves a void not only in terms of her presence, but also her cultural significance. Garcelle was not just a housewife, she was a cultural ambassador. As one of the first Black women to join the cast of a Real Housewives franchise, her presence highlighted the importance of diversity and inclusion. Her departure now underscores the need for the show to evolve and remain conscious of the representation of people from all walks of life. For fans, Garcelle's departure is bittersweet. While RHOBH will undoubtedly continue to thrive as a dramatic, entertaining, and sometimes outrageous series, Garcelle was a beacon of stability and intellect that many will miss. It's easy to point to her no-nonsense approach to conflict, and the way she stood up for herself in a cast full of larger-than-life personalities, that it's more challenging to quantify the importance of her quiet strength. She was a calm, steady force in a sea of chaos, and that balance brought a level of gravitas that elevated the show. Garcelle's impact on RHOBH cannot be overstated. She was part of a group of women who helped redefine what it meant to be a housewife in Beverly Hills, and she didn't do it by leaning into the typical tropes of the franchise. Instead, she brought her authentic self, someone who is unapologetically successful, unapologetically Black.